I never believed in cursed objects, not really. Not until the night my laptop screen glowed at 2:17 a.m., and my life quietly began to rot from the inside out. Because it all started as a joke, a bored scroll through eBay listings when sleep refused to come, and when I saw it, an antique brass mirror titled simply "Old Mirror Estate Sale Nitrogen Monoxide Returns." The photos were blurry, the description was oddly short, and the seller had zero feedback, which should have been my first warning. But something about the mirror felt heavy even through the screen. The glass, cloudy like breath, had been trapped inside it for decades. Faint scratches forming shapes that didn't look accidental, almost like fingerprints clawed in from the other side, and when I clicked the listing, my heart stuttered because for a brief second the reflection in the mirror wasn't my room. It was a dark hallway lit by flickering candles, and then it was gone, replaced by the normal grainy photo. And I laughed nervously, blaming exhaustion, yet my finger hovered before clicking buy now, because curiosity is a slow poison and I had already swallowed it. And 3 days later the mirror arrived in a battered box that smelled like damp earth and old pennies. No return address, no packing slip, just the mirror wrapped in yellowed newspaper dated 1978. Headlines about missing people circled in red ink, and when I touched the frame it was ice cold despite the summer heat. The metal etched with symbols I didn't recognize, but somehow understood as warnings. Though I ignored them and mounted the mirror in my bedroom across from my bed, where it fit too perfectly. Like it had been measured for that exact wall, and the first night nothing happened. The second night I dreamed of standing in front of the mirror while something stood behind me, breathing softly, whispering my name in a voice that sounded like it was stitched together from other voices. And when I woke up, the mirror was fogged as if someone had just exhaled against it. And from that moment on my reflection started lagging, just by a fraction of a second, a blink too late. A smile that stretched longer than mine, eyes that watched me even when I turned away, and I told myself mirrors distort in low light, that stress can make you imagine things. But the scratches on the glass multiplied overnight, thin lines forming symbols that pulsed faintly like veins, and the sounds began, soft tapping from inside the mirror at first, like fingernails politely asking to be let out, then scratching, frantic and desperate, always stopping when I turned on the lights, and I stopped sleeping. Started seeing movement in the reflection that didn't exist in the room, shadows crossing behind me, figures standing just out of sight. And one night I noticed something horrifying. My reflection had begun smiling when I wasn't. Its teeth too many, too sharp, its eyes black and deep like open graves, and it raised its hand while mine stayed still, pressing its palm against the glass from the inside, and I screamed, stumbling backward, smashing the mirror with a chair. But the glass didn't shatter, it absorbed the impact like flesh, rippling outward, and from within I heard laughter, low and wet, followed by words etched themselves into the glass from the inside out. Thank you for letting me in. And then the mirror went still, normal, innocent, but my reflection was gone, replaced by an empty room behind the glass, and that's when things truly unraveled, because without my reflection I began to fade too. Cameras couldn't capture me properly, people would forget conversations we'd just had, my fingerprints grew faint. My voice sounded distant even to myself, and every night the mirror showed me places I had never been, basements full of bones, forests hanging with bodies swaying gently, rooms where people screamed silently behind glass just like mine. And I realized the mirror wasn't cursed, it was hungry, it was a doorway, a collector, and it had chosen me because I had chosen it, because I clicked by now without reading the fine print etched invisibly into the glass that read "one soul required." And when I finally tried to destroy it again, pouring gasoline over it, striking a match, the flames bent away from the mirror like they feared it, and my reflection suddenly reappeared, screaming, pounding from the inside, begging me not to leave it there, promising it would behave, promising anything. And I hesitated, because it looked like me, sounded like me, and that hesitation was enough, because the mirror cracked on its own, splitting open like a mouth, hands bursting through, gripping my arms with impossible strength, pulling me forward as my room stretched and folded inward, the smell of burning metal and rot filling my lungs. And the last thing I saw was my reflection stepping out of the mirror, smoothing my clothes, smiling perfectly, as I was dragged screaming into the glass, trapped behind it, watching helplessly as it boxed the mirror carefully, taped it shut, printed a shipping label, and listed it back on eBay with a new title: Antique Mirror, Slightly USED Fast Shipping, No Returns,